Hey, hello, welcome back to the channel. My name is Mercy, and today I want us to have a short conversation about something that I have realized about myself and about other people. First of all, this video, I realized that I am quite a hypocrite. Why am I a hypocrite? Because there are things that I do, and then when others do them, I feel very annoyed about it. And I guess that's just human nature. We do things which are convenient for us, but when other people do it, you step back aside and realize just how crappy it is. The important thing is to learn from that, because now that I have learned this, I don't think that I'm going to be doing it again, because now I know how it feels when you're on the other side of it. I want to talk about this story of a lady who ended her life and people's reactions and why I feel crappy about it. So, a woman in Kenya allegedly took her own life 2 years after the tragic loss of her daughter. And instead of compassion, instead of grief, instead of silence, because we need to keep quiet when we have nothing good to say, people are online tearing her apart, tearing her life into pieces. I have seen some of the most cruel and insensitive, and frankly, considering it happened in Kenya, some of these comments and reactions are just very un-African. And these are reactions to somebody who's dead, somebody who cannot defend herself, right? Some people are saying she was selfish. Oh, what about her children? Why didn't she think about the children that were left behind? Okay. Others are laughing. Oh, she had money. She couldn't be happy even with the money. Oh, those are rich people problems. I'm not getting involved. And then there are those who say, oh, if her husband had done this, if her husband had done that, da 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 da. Now, the backstory of this woman is 2 years ago, she went to bed. She had a child. And her child was, I think, 9 years old. I want to say 8 or 9 years old. Came and told her she has a headache. She checked the child and found the child had a fever. She gave some painkillers and put this child to bed. In the morning, she woke up, called the school bus, and told the school bus, the child is not going to go to school because she's sick. So she got up, went to the bathroom to prepare a bath for this girl because, okay, fine, now you're going to stay home, but let's see if the bath is going to help. She checked the fever. The fever was, so she came back and checked the temperature of the child, and the child was cold. She tried to wake up the child. That's when she realized that the child was dead. Every post on her wall since then, and I could only see a limited amount because we were not friends, is grieving this child. She spent years grieving this child. There were times that she had, it was like a shrine now to this child. It was just really, really painful. And you could tell that this is someone who's struggling. Now, she recently posted something and then sent a WhatsApp message to a friend, and then went and threw herself in a river and died. Now, with that, my question is, when people are saying all these things about her being selfish, about her not worrying about her other children, where is our humanity? Where is our respect for the dead? And where is our concern for those left behind? Now, this is where I say that we are all hypocrites at a point, because recently there's also another politician who, well, he's not really a politician, he's just somebody who was working for, yeah. Anyway, this guy died, and my initial reaction was to be not bothered, because I was like, you know what? For political reasons, I can't stand that guy, because I just felt like he let down the country. But a person who is dead cannot defend themselves and they cannot explain what they were going through. They cannot correct our assumptions. They cannot tell us what pushed them to that point. And yet we sit here on social media and make videos and judge them as if we knew her, as if we were in their lives, as if we sat with them in the darkest moments, as if we could say with confidence, yes, this is why she did it and this is how she did it. No, we can't and we should not. And it is also different when it is somebody who is a public figure, even though public figures still also deserve some respect. But when I was growing up, I used to believe that when somebody dies, you cannot say something bad about them. Maybe because we believed in ghosts or stuff like that, but we could just not say bad things. Every funeral you went to, everybody was perfect. They were perfect up and they were horrible people until the day they died and then they become perfect. And there were no bad eulogies, but now this is the second time that I'm hearing of people saying really bad things about people when people are dead. To me, that's just not right. Because what about her family? You know, her sisters, her siblings, her children who are still alive, because you care so much about these children and worried too much that their mother left them, but yet you are busy saying all these nasty things about their mother. Imagine losing someone you love, and instead of mourning in peace, you have to read strangers tearing them down. Instead of grieving, you have to defend their memory. And if you have nothing kind to say about the dead, you know you can just keep quiet, because this woman was not a public figure. She might have written a lot of stuff on Facebook, but she was not a public figure. She was somebody who was going through her own things. She was going through her own things. And she just put, like all the rest of us, her feelings and her emotions on Facebook because, well, that's what we do nowadays. And let's talk about the real issue here. Mental health, depression, grieving. Depression and grief does not care if you're rich or poor. Depression, grief, does not care if you have other children to live for. Grief does not care how strong you are to the outside. Depression is a disease, and grief can lead to deep depression. The way life works, parents are supposed to go before their children. As a mother, and I'm sure if you're watching this and you're a parent, you can imagine how it feels to wake up and one of your children is normal. Actually, I don't think you can, because most parents, this is not something that normal parents can even imagine. I remember when my father died, and I just did not know, because to me, this is someone who's been there since you were born. So to me, it was quite hard to imagine that there's a life after your parent dies. Now imagine a life after your child dies. I've always said that I don't even know how parents go through the next 5 minutes after you're told that your child is not ever, you're never going to see your child again. And when you see videos of mothers refusing to let go of the coffin it's not because they're being dramatic. It's because that is not how nature is supposed to happen. You're supposed to go before your children, not your children going before you. That's just not something that I feel like normal people register easily. And yes, we have different ways of accepting things and we have different capacities to accept things, because some people, they're able to internalize well. Some people are able to recover well. Some people are able to find other ways of coping. But then there are people who nothing works. So instead of criticizing the dead, instead of criticizing this woman, maybe we should ask, how many of us check on our friends? The friend who has been divorced, the friend who has lost her child, the friend who has had a miscarriage. How many of us check on our friends really? And not sending them a WhatsApp message and asking them, how are you today? And they say fine, and then you move on. How many of us take mental health seriously? Like, I'm imagining when she was writing all these things, and this is the part that we were seeing, some other people probably who talked to her could have noticed a little bit more. But then I also know Kenyans, and I'm sure there are people who are telling, oh, you have to be strong for your other children. Oh, you have to get over this. It's not good for you. Oh, you have to do this. But how many people, maybe they did, maybe it just didn't work because not everything works. I'm not saying they didn't. I'm just wondering how many people actually told her all this. And oh, God had his reasons. The child is in a better place. There was this whole post some time back that I saw on Facebook where somebody was writing, there are things that you should not tell a grieving mother. And some of the things that I've mentioned are there, like God takes the best and the child is in a better place, as if your house was so toxic for this child that the child just had to leave. Anyway, how many of us offer support other than waiting until it's too late? And how much support do you offer? So this woman is gone. The daughter was already gone. If you believe in the afterlife, heaven, hell, reincarnation, they're probably together now. And her family is in pain. And yet, we're here discussing her like gossip. Instead of mourning her like human beings, we need to do better. For the dead, we need to do better. And for those who are fighting grief in silence, we need to do better for them. Because one day you never know. It could be someone you love. It could be you. Not that I wish it to be you, but it could. All right, this was a bit of a sad one, but like and subscribe, leave a comment, and yeah. I mean, what I learned from this actually for me was more how hypocritical I am, because honestly, it was not even a month ago since I was over there saying whatever it is that I felt like saying. And maybe I'm a hypocrite, as I said, maybe I'm a hypocrite. Maybe it's because she's a woman and she was dealing with mental health issues and I could relate. And that's why this one I feel deeper about it than the other one. And maybe I'm just being childish and not letting go of my political issues. But well, that's life. But we learn and we grow. We grow and we learn. Yes, we grow and we learn. All right, so today I have actually been able to record quite a few things because I was in a good mood. All right, so see you and thank you, and continue to subscribe.